There's a new collaboration between Columbia Bank and the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, and it's helping to deliver family-friendly performances while supporting NJPAC's mission of cultural enrichment. Allyson Schlesinger. Allyson, I'm sorry, I can't get my mouth working today. Allyson
No, perfectly.
Schlesinger. God bless you. I literally have only had 3 cups of coffee. Usually I have 4 by now. But
No,
Allyson,
I had to
Allyson,
learn to pronounce my last name too, so it's all good.
thank you. Allyson Schlesinger, or Schlesinger, is the Senior Executive Vice President, Head of Consumer Banking at Columbia Bank, and she's here to talk about why this partnership matters so much. So is it Schlesinger or Schlesinger?
Schlesinger.
Schlesinger. All right.
I think
Allyson
you got it.
Schlesinger.
You're
I
good.
have it.
You're good.
I got it now. Thank you. So good morning. Good to have you on.
Great to be on. Thank you for having us.
You bet. And tell us about how a community bank like Columbia is different from a national bank and why many would consider it a better choice.
Sure. So let's first talk about Columbia Bank. We're almost 100 years old, not me, the bank. We're across all over New Jersey. We have over 70 branches. And our philosophy is really about the community, right? A lot of why we align with NJPAC. We believe investing in the community. We set up our branches in communities. And while we're in our branches in that community, we connect with families, local businesses, and that's really important. I think the other real big difference between a national bank also is, we know our customers, right? We like to say we like to hug our customers. We don't actually always hug our customers, but the point is that we make local decisions, whether it's credit decisions. We know your businesses, we know who you are, we know your families, and that's part of our values and really important to who we are.
Allison, this is when I was first sold on community banks. It's a bank that, yeah, I'll tell you off the air which one it is. I won't say it on the air, but it's been absorbed into another community bank, as sometimes happens, as you know, in New Jersey. Um, let's just say it started with an L. You could probably figure it out from that.
Yes.
When I first moved to New Jersey, and I had a nice income, and I was working for Channel 7. I wanted to buy the house of my dreams in North Caldwell, and it was in 2009. So 2007, we had the big economy crash. So now in 2009, you couldn't get a super jumbo mortgage. No one would even touch it. You
No,
had to, I was told you had to put down over 50%. Well, it was going to cost like 600,000 down,
right.
700,000 down. You forget it.
No,
That
not
bank,
happening. Right.
right. But that community bank said, "Come on in, we'll figure it out." And I thought, this is a waste of time. I went in, they figured it out. And back then, with the interest rates crazy, I got a 4% interest rate. And that became my bank for years. And now they don't exist anymore. And I sold the house. But it just told me that, wow, it gave me an education on the difference. Community banks will go out of their way, whereas the national banks, you're just tend to be
Right.
another name on a page. That's it.
Right. No, it's true. And the trust that you can build in the individuals, we take pride in making sure our teams, whether it's in our commercial area or in our branches, know our customers, right? It's really important to them. We invite them. We host a lot of events and we connect with people, whether it's through the community or other areas that we have.
Fascinating. And you have this big partnership with NJPAC and its family series. Let's talk about that.
So super excited. We believe that our values are very similar. So we were looking for a partner, and we obviously being in New Jersey, there's lots of different opportunities. NJPAC first is aligns our values. So let's start. One is Newark. We have 2 branches in Newark. We're really building out, and that's part of that whole community connection we talked about. NJPAC really investing in Newark, right? Beyond even the arts and how they go forward. The other thing where it's really important is we do a lot of education. You talked about your mortgage, right? So NJPAC obviously has an extension beyond the shows. They do a lot of education in the area. We'll do a tremendous amount of first-time home buyers. We do education in the schools. We'll educate in our branches, and that's part of our philosophy too. And then third, it's about families. We sponsored the family area, and for us, we want to improve the lives of families, help families reach their financial goals, whether through our new relationship rewards program that we have in place, ways that I talked about through the education, small business owners. We have a strong value proposition, helping them grow their businesses through lending and opportunities through there. So we thought it's really a great alignment, and it felt great to us to have, more to provide for families to come together, spend time as a family. And again, aligns perfectly with our philosophy and how we bridge with communities.
And you have deep, deep roots in New Jersey. I mean, you mentioned it's over 100 years old, the bank, and in Newark itself, you've been there for decades and decades as part of you're part of the fabric of the community. Whereas a lot of the national banks kind of were Johnny come latelys. They came in and
Yeah.
looked for business, but you guys were there for the long haul.
We are, and we invest in there. We have a lot of programming around special housing opportunities. You know, as NJPAC is also doing that, right? Extensions into beyond helping housing, arts. So we have a lot of special programming to help new home buyers. Newark is just one of them, right? We recently opened. We have a branch in Patterson. We have Clifton. We opened another branch recently in Rutherford. So it's all about expanding and having that coverage throughout New Jersey, that we feel that, you know, we're a preeminent bank in New Jersey and want to continue building out that coverage in New Jersey.
It's awesome. By the way, for those who think that community banks are not for businesses, it's quite the contrary. And you guys support small business and entrepreneurs in a way that the big banks just literally are not equipped to do, and they have a lot of national regulation that makes it very difficult for them to do that, right? So talk about how a community bank like Columbia can really support small business and entrepreneurs.
No, we definitely do. So we have specialized teams. Let's start with that. It goes back to connecting with your customer, knowing who they are. So our teams are out in the markets, whether it's our special lending team, our branch managers, they go out and visit customers. So we go on site, we see the customer needs, we meet with them. We have a whole selection of different types of lines of credit, ways to help businesses grow their area. And then on top of what really is important, what I want people to understand also about community banks is, while we have these local decisions, our credit decisions made locally, not in, you know, right there in New Jersey, through the people are involved. The other thing that's really important, though, for small businesses is we have all of the digital capabilities as well. And so sometimes people tend to think, oh, their community, it's local products, they haven't invested. We fully invested in technology. So what's really important is all of the services of cash management products, ways that we can help a business monitor, build out their products and services. And so that's really key too for us. Again, we'll spend time helping people build business plans and then providing the right products and services to allow them to grow, and we grow with them. So many stories we'll hear from our customers. This was our first bank account, just as you described your first mortgage, and now our business is this multi-million, revenue business. But we were the first one to give a loan, and now we've kind of carried over generations for them.
I love it. And the website is what, columbiabanknj.com?
Online, columbiabankonline.com. Some people love to put
Columbiabankonline.
NJ in there. It's columbiabankonline.com. You can
That's it.
see everything there. Or walk into a local branch. As I'm at, there's over 70 branches throughout New Jersey, so you'll see one in many different corners.
Fantastic. Allyson Schlesinger, Senior Executive Vice
Well
President,
done.
Head of Thank you. Senior Executive Vice President, Head of Consumer Banking at Columbia Bank. It was great having you on, and thanks for coming on today.
Thanks, Ken. Really appreciate it. Thank you all. Hope to see you
You
at
bet.
NJPAC.
Yes, definitely.